said in August his team would just be taking up space in the championship. They weren't running well enough to contend for the title. But when it started 10 weeks ago, they won the first 2. They won 5 of the 10.
I'll tell you, Tony Stewart beat a great competitor right there. Carl Edwards gave it all.
He had everything that he had there at the end. And the entire chase, never finishing worse than 11th in a race for 10 races.
A tie on points. The tiebreaker decides the championship. The tiebreaker is most wins.
Fans wanted it to be about wins. Tony Stewart went out and gave them exactly what they were looking for. Just an incredible run.
Did I make it exciting enough?
You made it exciting enough for us, Vince.
A tearful Darian Grubb holding his son Gavin here, celebrating the victory. Darian, you told me earlier today that nothing has changed in your team. You've just gotten the brakes to go your way in the chase. Tonight you made your brakes. You repaired the car. You fought back from different challenges. You gambled on fuel. How did you guys do it tonight?
We just fought. This entire Office Depot Mobil 1 team is incredible. We just didn't give up. We kept fighting. We went out and earned this championship and showed we're true champions.
Darian, you've been through a lot of adversity. What's this championship mean to you?
It means the world, but my family means a lot more to have him here with me.
Congratulations.
Darian Grubb from Floyd, Virginia. Came to be known to most of us when Chad Knaus was suspended during a Daytona Speed Weeks a few years ago. Darian, the team engineer, was Jimmy Johnson's fill-in crew chief at the time, and they won the Daytona 500.
Actually won a couple. He proved his mettle in that backup role, and boy, tonight he really shined. Took some huge gambles too. I mean, that fuel mileage gamble was big, and it really, ended up paying off for him.
It was risky.
It was very risky, but actually is what got him the track position.
And for Carl Edwards, he led the most laps tonight. He came up 1 spot short and loses the championship on a tiebreaker. Jamie?
I imagine there's a lot of people around this country who agree with Dale Jarrett that was one of the most exciting championship races we've ever seen. What's going through your mind right now is all I can ask you after that effort.
Let me thank my sponsors first. Aflac, Ford, Kellogg's, Subway, Scott, Sprint, all the fans. But this night is about Tony Stewart. Those guys rose to the occasion. They beat us fair and square. That is all I had at the end. My guys did a really good job. I mean, we came here, we sat on the pole, we led the most laps, and Tony still managed, him and Darian to do a good job with their strategy, come out in front of us, and that's it. That's all I got at the end. That's as hard as I can drive. So I told my wife, if I can't win this thing, I'm going to be the best loser NASCAR's ever had. So I'm going to try really hard to keep my head up and know that we'll just go next year. We're going to be just as hard to beat next year, just as hard the year after that. But I just hope everybody's proud of the way we performed and our effort. I appreciate everyone's support, all the folks that helped me get to this position. And I wish so bad we had that trophy, but it just wasn't meant to be tonight.
Carl, you've had to drive that hard multiple times in your career, but for 40 laps, looking at the target ahead of you. What was that like from the cockpit?
I mean, it was good because I could see what Tony was doing, and I mean, I tried all sorts of stuff, and I mean, that's as hard as I can drive that race car, and that's it. So, I said before this thing started, I'm going to give my best performance, and I'm going to be happy with that. I'm not quite happy with it, but this is what we got. We'll make the most of it, and I can tell you one thing: if we're in this position again next year, those guys better watch out, because that was a lot of work to stay calm and to stay focused and perform the best we can. I learned a ton. And
the patience. Great job. Valiant effort by Carl Edwards. Brings it home second and second in the points.
Reacting to Carl Edwards' thoughts, a valiant effort, but he has to be heartbroken.
Yeah, and it'll hit even more tomorrow and in weeks to come. But he's, just as he said, he did everything he possibly could. He just, unfortunately, ran into a buzzsaw with Tony Stewart and this race team and winning 5 races. Who thought it was going to happen?
Tony Stewart provides us our Goodyear winning moment. 5 wins in the 10 races in this chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. The tiebreaker was wins on the season, and that was the difference between Stewart and Edwards after these 10 races.
And if that's not an emphasis on winning, I don't know what is.
Exactly right.
And particularly over the last 3 weeks, these two raced for the lead, raced for the win in these races. Just tremendous.
Yeah, neither one of them ever finishing worse than third in these last 3 weeks.
Yep. It's the first time in the history of the sport we've had a tie for the championship in points.
Tony Stewart tonight, you know, Carl Edwards talking about giving it all he had. Tony Stewart passed 76 cars in this race tonight.
He certainly earned it, didn't he?
Every time he got to the front, he got shuffled to the back. Tremendous gesture there by Carl Edwards.
That's a true champion right there.
Well, it's over tonight here in Homestead Miami Speedway, and truly a classic championship fight resulted in a truly classic championship finale where you had to win the race to win the title. Tony Stewart did it, making his way to a familiar sight along the front stretch of this racetrack where twice before he celebrated winning a championship. Eddie Jarvis, Tony's longtime business manager.
They have a great relationship. It was the two of them that put this deal, made it happen, put it together, really took a chance in moving away from Joe Gibbs Racing to go start and make this race team work.
And you see the scene in Victory Lane presented by Napa as the liquids begin to fly. And what a scene it is in the middle of that whole championship crowd.
Tony Stewart just beat a guy that has the best average finish anybody's ever had in the chase, 4.9. He beat Carl Edwards.
It's Ryan Newman, Tony's teammate and employee, if you will, at Stewart Haas Racing. And not to forget Gene Haas, who, having fielded a NASCAR Sprint Cup team for several years, needed something to take it to the next level. He offered Tony Stewart a 50% partnership in the team.
He got a good deal.
They're champions.
Yeah, Rick Hendrick had a lot to do with making all of this happen, getting the two parties together, helping make everything work, assuring Tony that he would get a tremendous amount of support with this race team from Hendrick Motorsports.
Look at that scene. So much fun. And you heard these fans roar their approval. Everybody waiting while Tony Stewart gathers his thoughts and gets ready to go. And the most disappointed, the people who came up just short, talking it over, Bob Osborne and Carl Edwards.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you just get beat, and that's all that these guys can say. We gave it everything. Carl said he gave it everything. He has the driver. They had a great race car. The engine performed flawlessly. Just sometimes somebody else is a little bit better.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2011 NASCAR Sprint Cup champion, Tony Stewart. Wow, what a performance tonight what better way, Tony, for the closest chase in NASCAR Sprint Cup history to finish? Tony, two of NASCAR's heavyweights. Tony Gibson coming over. Two of NASCAR's heavyweights going toe-to-toe, head-to-head, the final laps, and you won it in the championship. What's the emotion right now?
Oh, God, thank the Lord for this one, buddy. Man, I'm telling you, it's been a tough summer and a tough fall for us, and you got to believe in something. And the man upstairs, and he held this rain off just long enough for us to get this job done. So this is for Sprint and all these fans up here that stuck it out all weekend here in Homestead. And oh, my God. I don't care how long it rains. I'm going to be up all night. This is, oh, my God. Are you kidding me? For Office Depot, for Mobile One, Chevrolet, U.S. Army, Tornadoes, Quicken Loans, GoDaddy, Ritz, Oreos, Coca-Cola, just everybody that's a part of the Stewart Haas program. Mac Tools, we couldn't do it without you guys. It's just unbelievable. I mean, we said all week we just go out and win the race. We didn't have to worry about what he did, and that's what we did. And just if this doesn't go down as one of the greatest championship battles in history, I don't know what will.
Let's talk about tonight. In the first 100 laps, Tony, you had to go from back to front twice. 3 and 4 wide passes on the restarts as Jeff Gordon comes up to congratulate him. And then the gamble on fuel. How concerned were you that maybe there were just too many obstacles to overcome after all you were having to battle tonight?
This team, there's one thing I learned when Gene Haas and Joe Custer gave us this opportunity, and our good buddy Rick Hendrick, and I couldn't do it without you, Bud, and everybody at Hendrick Engines and Chassis. That there's no quit here. And Darian Grubb, that man up there, and everybody on this team has just dug deep and never given up. And this is an awesome night. Eddie Jarvis, Brett Food, everybody at Stewart Haas Racing. I've got the best team in the business, and it's just awesome. I'm so grateful to be able to do this for Gene Haas, because this man's invested a lot in this sport, and for him to have the faith in me to do this, just it takes a lot to do what he's done, and I'm glad I can get this done for him.
Talk about people that meant a lot to the sport. That number 14 belonged to your hero and friend A.J. Foyt. He said you can take the number but drive it with the tenacity of a Texan. Tonight, you won a championship the way he won them, up on that wheel, refusing to lose. What does it mean to you to take this number, his number, back to a championship stage?
I guarantee I'll probably talk to him tonight, and he's still going to tell me what I did wrong today, but I'm so proud. I mean, A.J.'s always been one of my heroes, and he's been very supportive of this when we did this. And when I asked him if it would be all right if I took his number, he was the one that gave me his blessing, and that meant the world to me.
Carl Edwards, a class individual. What a battle! What a battle those final laps. What's going through your mind when you're seeing Carl back there, knowing that he's just going to do everything he can, and what a great effort he's had all year long to try to catch you, and you had to win the race to win the championship?
Those guys have done an awesome job all year, and my buddy Ricky Stenhouse won the nationwide championship yesterday, and Jack got the owner's championship. So I didn't feel bad taking this one away from him tonight. But he's a great competitor, he's a great guy, and we've been giving him a rough time this week. But it was all in an effort to do what we did tonight here, and that's to win this championship. But it shows how classy a guy he is. He was the first one to me over there, and he just said, promise me one thing, that you'll enjoy this. And he goes, I hope it's you and I in this position again next year. So it just shows how much class he's got. He's a great guy.
Both of you showing so much class. And Tony, guess what? In just a moment, we're going to climb up on that stage. You're going to get a big trophy and even a bigger check as NASCAR's newest Sprint Cup champion. Alan?
And they won't mind the raindrops one bit. Tony Stewart, 3-time NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion after winning the season's final race. The trophy presentation is next.